can 6G can help us to foster empathy, or can help us to foster, better connections between people, or mutual understanding, or overcoming cognitive biases, right? So to what extent having all this information, or even the ability to have digital twins of any corner of the world, it's not only about the territory or only about infrastructure, but also about empowering or augmenting our humanity.